Sovereign. A ruler or a self-governing entity. After independence, the nation became a sovereign member of the United Nations. A sovereign nation has the authority to govern itself, without external interference. Sovereign countries often resist foreign intervention, in domestic conflicts or policies. Poles apart. Completely different in opinions, or attitudes. Their personalities are poles apart, yet they managed to maintain a strong friendship. The two countries have poles apart views on environmental policies and regulations. Their approaches to solving the problem are poles apart, leading to heated debates. Fundamental. Essential or forming the foundation. Nutrition is fundamental to a child's mental and physical development from birth. Equality remains a fundamental goal in global human rights initiatives and reforms. Critical thinking is fundamental to academic success and informed decision-making. Culmination. The highest or final point reached. Graduation is the culmination of a student's academic journey and personal growth. His promotion was the culmination of hard work and excellent professional conduct. The project's culmination reflected years of persistent effort and strategic planning. Reminiscent. Reminding of something from the past. The artwork was reminiscent of ancient Greek sculpture and architectural elegance. His stories were reminiscent of childhood adventures shared with friends and family. The festival atmosphere was reminiscent of celebrations described in ancient texts. Overwhelmed. Feeling deeply affected by emotions. Many students feel overwhelmed by the increasing demands of academic life today. The audience was overwhelmed by the speaker's emotional and powerful message. He was overwhelmed with gratitude after receiving unexpected community support. Spontaneous. Happening suddenly without planning. Spontaneous creativity often flourishes in relaxed and pressure-free environments. Spontaneous reactions often reveal individuals' true values and instinctive behavior. His spontaneous response to the crisis prevented further damage to the community. Genuine. Real, authentic, or not fake. The initiative aims to provide genuine opportunities for marginalized communities. A genuine effort from governments is required to reduce carbon emissions globally. Genuine innovation in technology can significantly improve quality of life worldwide. Innovate. To introduce something new and creative. Businesses that innovate successfully attract more customers and increase profits. Countries must innovate to stay competitive in the rapidly changing global economy. Companies that innovate regularly tend to outperform competitors in the long term. Consensus. General agreement among a group of people. Their consensus on the plan allowed for smooth implementation and collaboration. The committee finally reached a consensus after hours of discussion and negotiation. Scientific consensus supports urgent actions to combat the effects of global warming. Aggravate. To worsen or make a situation more severe. Ignoring environmental problems will only aggravate global climate change effects. Neglecting self-care can aggravate mental health conditions and worsen symptoms. Climate change effects may aggravate water shortages in many developing countries. Impediments. Obstacles or barriers that hinder progress. Cultural differences often serve as impediments during global business negotiations. Economic difficulties often become impediments to achieving higher education goals. Political instability serves as an impediment to foreign investment in many countries. Litigation. The process of taking legal action. Litigation often consumes significant time and resources in commercial disputes. Many disputes in commercial sectors are resolved through litigation or arbitration. Effective legal advice can help avoid unnecessary litigation and costly court battles. Alternative. Another choice or option available. Public transportation is an environmentally friendly alternative to private vehicles. Many people seek alternative medicine when conventional treatments do not work. Solar power is an increasingly affordable alternative to electricity from power plants. Affluent. Having a lot of wealth or resources. Affluent societies often experience higher levels of healthcare and life expectancy. Technology adoption is faster in affluent communities, due to better infrastructure. Rising income inequality means the affluent benefit more than the poor population. Consequence. A result or effect of an action. Poor time management may lead to serious academic consequences for students. Air pollution is a consequence of unchecked industrial expansion and urbanization. Understanding the consequences of decisions is crucial for responsible leadership. Deliberate. Done intentionally or with careful thought. His actions were deliberate, aimed at undermining the organization's reputation. The committee made a deliberate decision, after thorough discussion and analysis. The artist's deliberate use of color creates a unique emotional response in viewers. Evaporate. To turn from liquid to gas. Miscommunication may cause trust between individuals to evaporate over time. Rising temperatures cause surface water to evaporate at an accelerated daily rate. Water molecules evaporate into the air, causing changes in atmospheric conditions. Innate. Naturally existing from birth or within. Many psychologists believe that certain skills are innate and developed over time. Language acquisition is believed to be supported by an innate cognitive framework. Some people have an innate ability to understand complex scientific concepts easily. Death penalty. Legal execution as punishment for crime. Many argue that the death penalty violates fundamental human rights and dignity. Critics claim the death penalty disproportionately affects marginalized social groups. Some believe the death penalty deters serious crimes, though evidence is debatable. Convincing. Credible and making someone believe something. His convincing demeanor helped ease the audience's concerns about the project. Research findings can provide convincing support for policy changes in education. Her argument was convincing, supported by facts and logical reasoning throughout. Kinetic. Related to movement or motion. Kinetic theory helps explain the behavior of gas molecules under varying conditions. The sculpture displayed impressive kinetic motion powered by natural wind currents. Kinetic installations can transform public spaces into interactive cultural experiences. Synthesize. To combine elements into a whole. Students learn to synthesize concepts from different disciplines during their studies. The artist aimed to synthesize traditional techniques with modern styles in her work. Researchers synthesize data from multiple sources to support their final conclusions. Constant. Unchanging and remaining the same. The economy faces constant fluctuations, influenced by domestic and global events. The constant evolution of technology requires continuous adaptation by businesses. The report emphasizes the need for constant monitoring of environmental changes. Luxury. Something expensive and highly desirable. The definition of luxury varies significantly across different cultures and societies. Affordable housing should be prioritized over luxury apartments in growing cities. Some argue that luxury items contribute to unsustainable consumerism and waste. Peasant. A poor farmer with low status. Life as a peasant during medieval times was often marked by hardship and struggle. Peasants were often marginalized in historical narratives of socio-economic progress. Peasant revolts influenced political reforms throughout history in numerous nations. Weird. Strange, unusual, or unexpected in nature. Sometimes, weird experiences can lead to the most memorable adventures in life. The sudden disappearance of the animal seemed like a weird and unexplained event. It's weird how technology changes social interactions in unexpected ways nowadays. Surpass. To exceed or go beyond expectations. We aim to surpass customer expectations through exceptional service and quality. Renewable energy sources are beginning to surpass fossil fuels in global usage rates. His dedication allowed him to surpass all obstacles and achieve academic excellence. Precursor. Something that comes before another. Technological prototypes often serve as a precursor to mass-market innovations. Industrialization was a major precursor to modern economic and social structures. Curiosity is a psychological precursor to scientific exploration and experimentation. Circulate. To move around freely within a system. Officials circulate documents to ensure transparency in administrative processes. Rumors tend to circulate quickly in a small community or workplace environment. To stay healthy, blood must circulate efficiently throughout the entire human body. Dimension. A measurable extent of space or existence. The psychological dimension of education is often overlooked in policy debates. Poverty has a multidimensional nature including education, health, and income. Understanding the social dimension of poverty is essential for effective solutions. Diverse. Showing variety, made of different elements. A diverse population strengthens social cohesion and enriches national identity. Exposure to diverse opinions fosters tolerance and critical thinking in young people. A diverse workforce increases a company's ability to solve complex global problems. Navigate. Find a way through or direct movement. Tourists often struggle to navigate foreign cities without reliable navigation tools. He used logic and experience to navigate through the ethical dilemma effectively. Diplomats constantly navigate conflicting interests during international negotiations. Controversy. Disagreement, often public and heated. Recent studies have ignited controversy over the effectiveness of certain vaccines. Controversy often arises when historical monuments reflect outdated social values. Genetically modified foods have long been a subject of intense scientific controversy. Dynamic. Energetic, constantly changing, or active. The dynamic nature of climate change demands urgent international cooperation. Group projects benefit from dynamic collaboration among diverse team members. The job market is highly dynamic, requiring constant skill upgrades and adaptation. Surplus. An excess amount beyond what is needed. The surplus workforce can be redirected through vocational training programs. The government aimed to use the surplus funds for public infrastructure projects. The surplus generated from the fundraiser will support local community initiatives. Simultaneous. Happening at the same time or instant. The event featured simultaneous translation services for international delegates. Simultaneous reforms in the economy and governance led to national development. Simultaneous attendance at work and school events is challenging for many parents. Heritage. Traditions or properties passed through generations. Local traditions and customs are essential elements of intangible cultural heritage. Ignoring heritage may lead to irreversible loss of traditional knowledge and values. Cultural heritage provides insights into the values and beliefs of ancient civilizations. Predominant. Most common, important, or influential in presence. The predominant cause of climate change is excessive greenhouse gas emissions. The predominant opinion favored stricter regulations on industrial waste disposal. English is the predominant language spoken in many international business settings. Census. Official population counts with demographic details. Census data helps identify population growth, migration patterns, and social needs. Census participation should be encouraged to ensure inclusivity and data accuracy. Many countries use census information to determine electoral representation fairly. Pervasive. Spreading widely throughout an area or group. Corruption remains a pervasive issue that undermines trust in public institutions. Social media has become a pervasive influence on modern communication habits. Corruption remains a pervasive issue in many developing and developed countries. Solace. Comfort given during distress or sadness. He sought solace in solitude, away from daily pressures and social expectations. Seeking solace in unhealthy habits can lead to long-term negative consequences. Literature has historically been a source of solace for intellectuals facing hardships. Dominate. Have influence or power over something. Developing nations struggle to compete with industries that dominate global trade. In sports, one team cannot dominate the league forever, without healthy competition. Social media platforms dominate communication among young people today globally. Abnormal. Deviating from the usual or expected standard. Extreme weather patterns indicate an abnormal shift in global climate conditions. Abnormal weather patterns can be an indication of climate change and its effects. The machine was shut down due to abnormal pressure and temperature readings. Contrast. Noticeable difference between two or more things. The essay uses contrast to highlight opposing viewpoints on artificial intelligence. The contrast in social attitudes towards technology varies across cultural contexts. This study draws a contrast between traditional and digital learning environments. Marginalize. Push to the edge or make insignificant. Economic inequality continues to marginalize vulnerable populations worldwide. Governments should implement policies that do not marginalize minority groups. Women in certain cultures are often marginalized and denied basic human rights. Rational. Based on logic, reason, and clear thinking. Rational debate is essential in academic settings to promote critical thinking skills. Governments should adopt a rational approach to solve environmental problems. The scientist provided a rational explanation for the unexpected experiment results. Predict. Say what will happen before it occurs. Meteorologists predict severe weather to help reduce disaster-related casualties. Researchers can predict climate changes based on historical weather data patterns. It is difficult to predict human behavior due to its inherent complexity and variability. Facilitate. Make an action or process easier. Language programs can facilitate integration of immigrants into local communities. Community programs can facilitate collaboration among residents for common goals. Policies that facilitate trade growth contribute to a country's economic development. Vague. Unclear, uncertain, or lacking specific details. Vague language can hinder effective communication and create misunderstandings. The instructions were so vague that many students failed to complete the assignment. Vague memories of childhood sometimes surface unexpectedly in a person's adult life. Compel. Force or pressure someone to act. Emotional stories can compel audiences to take action and support charitable causes. Teachers often compel students to participate in mandatory extracurricular activities. Ethical principles compel doctors to provide care regardless of financial compensation. Fallacy. False belief based on incorrect reasoning. The fallacy of stereotyping leads to misconceptions and discrimination in society. The slippery slope fallacy exaggerates consequences without providing valid support. Identifying a fallacy strengthens the credibility of your counterargument in debate. Implement. Put a plan or decision into action. Teachers should implement creative methods to engage students in active learning. Many businesses implement automation to enhance productivity and reduce costs. To improve safety, schools must implement clear emergency response procedures. Notion. An idea, belief, or understanding. The notion of sustainability influences modern environmental policies worldwide. Globalization challenges the traditional notion of national identity and sovereignty. The notion of freedom varies significantly across different cultures and communities. Procure. Obtain something with effort or care. The organization managed to procure essential supplies during the economic crisis. The hospital struggled to procure enough ventilators during the pandemic outbreak. Government agencies must procure services transparently to maintain public trust. Supreme. Highest in rank, power, or quality. The Supreme Court plays a vital role in interpreting constitutional law effectively. Supreme leadership requires ethical conduct, vision, and unwavering public service. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously in favor of the Environmental Protection Law. Velocity. Speed of something in a direction. High-velocity impacts can cause serious structural damage to aircraft or vehicles. The athlete maintained a consistent velocity throughout the race, securing victory. The spacecraft achieved a velocity high enough to escape Earth's gravitational pull. Glacier. A large mass of moving ice. Scientists study glacier to understand climate change and its impact on sea levels. Glacier collapse poses serious risks to nearby ecosystems and human settlements. Glacier movement shapes mountainous landscapes through erosion and deposition. Fertile. Capable of producing abundant growth. Fertile minds are crucial for innovation, discovery, and intellectual advancement. Fertile soil is essential for sustaining high agricultural productivity and biodiversity. Fertile land allows farmers to grow abundant crops with minimal use of fertilizers. Occupy. Take control or fill a space completely. The park was occupied by protesters, demanding climate action and policy changes. The military can occupy a territory during conflicts to establish control and security. Refugees often occupy temporary shelters provided by humanitarian organizations. Activate. Make something start working or become operational. Researchers aim to activate specific genes to study their effects on development. The program will activate automatically when the system detects unusual activity. Exercise can activate various hormones that improve mood and overall well-being. Colonialism. Control over another country for economic gain. The legacy of colonialism still affects many developing countries' political systems. Colonialism often resulted in cultural erosion and exploitation of natural resources. Colonialism introduced new languages, which sometimes replaced native tongues. Dire need. An urgent requirement for something. Schools are in dire need of funding to improve educational resources and facilities. Environmental conservation efforts are in dire need of more funding and awareness. Ecosystems are in dire need of conservation to prevent irreversible biodiversity loss. Sequence. An ordered arrangement of events or things. The sequence of policies implemented affects a country's economic recovery speed. The sequence in which tasks are completed can impact overall efficiency significantly. DNA sequencing has revolutionized medicine by identifying genetic disorders quickly. Competence. The ability to do something effectively and well. Employers value competence and experience equally when hiring new employees. Competence in technology is essential for success in today's competitive job market. Students must develop competence in research to succeed in academic writing tasks. Coordinate. Arrange different parts to work together. Scientists coordinate research projects to share data and avoid duplication of work. Schools and parents must coordinate strategies for effective student development. The manager will coordinate schedules to ensure everyone is available for meetings. Virtual. Existing digitally or simulated rather than physically. Virtual currencies like Bitcoin raise concerns about regulation and financial stability. The virtual conference allowed participants from around the world to connect easily. Virtual museums provide cultural access to people regardless of geographic location. Deleterious. Damaging or having negative effects. Stress can have deleterious consequences on both mental and physical well-being. Pollution causes deleterious changes to ecosystems, harming plant and animal life. The study revealed deleterious effects of climate change on agricultural productivity. Occur. Happen or take place at a certain time. Political revolutions tend to occur during periods of economic and social instability. Earthquakes usually occur near tectonic plate boundaries, under immense pressure. Social changes often occur gradually, over decades rather than instantly or suddenly. Violate. Break a law, rule, or agreement. To violate public trust can irreparably damage a politician's career and reputation. Harsh laws can sometimes violate personal freedoms and ethical human standards. Companies that violate environmental regulations should be held strictly accountable. Reform. Improve something by making corrections. Tax reform proposals aim to create a fairer system for individuals and businesses. Judicial reform is vital to ensure timely justice and reduce case backlogs efficiently. Reforms in labor laws can enhance worker protections and promote fair treatment. Symptom. A sign or indication of illness or problem. Physical symptoms often reflect deeper psychological or emotional health issues. Fever and cough are common symptoms of many respiratory infections worldwide. Early symptoms of the disease include fatigue, headache, and occasional dizziness. Frontier. A boundary or unexplored area of knowledge. Scientists are constantly pushing the frontier of knowledge in medical research. Space exploration represents the next major frontier for human advancement. The Internet opened a frontier of global communication and information access. Launch. Start or introduce something into motion. The launch of renewable energy initiatives is vital for environmental sustainability. Launching new policies requires careful planning and public awareness campaigns. They launched an investigation into the environmental impact of industrial activities. Territory. An area controlled by a country or group. Animals mark their territory to protect resources and ensure reproductive success. Territorial disputes often lead to prolonged conflicts between neighboring countries. Cultural groups sometimes claim historical territory based on ancestral connections. Vital. Extremely important or necessary for survival. Nutrition plays a vital role in the overall development of children and adolescents. Biodiversity is vital for ecosystem stability and resilience in changing environments. The team's performance is vital for achieving the organization's strategic objectives. Assimilate. Absorb and integrate into a new culture. Immigrants often find it challenging to assimilate into a new culture and society. Language acquisition is crucial for newcomers to assimilate effectively into society. Effective education systems facilitate the ability to assimilate various learning styles. Embrace. Hug someone or accept an idea warmly. The company embraced a flexible working model to improve employee satisfaction. Embracing feedback helps individuals improve their skills and develop professionally. To succeed, organizations must embrace change and adapt to new challenges quickly. Administer. Manage or distribute something officially. NGOs administer food programs in regions suffering from famine and malnutrition. Institutions need to administer funds responsibly to support educational initiatives. The research team will administer surveys to gather valuable data from participants. Cumbersome. Difficult to handle due to size or complexity. The legal procedures for appeals remain unnecessarily cumbersome and outdated. International travel has become more cumbersome due to strict security regulations. The system's cumbersome interface frustrates users and reduces overall productivity. Ancestor. A person from whom one descends. Ancestor worship remains a common practice in various traditional Asian cultures. Archaeologists discovered artifacts that provide insight into early human ancestors. Many indigenous communities trace land ownership back to their original ancestors. Conclusive. Proving something with finality or certainty. The study failed to produce conclusive answers about long-term vaccine effects. Conclusive findings are essential before implementing nationwide policy changes. A conclusive analysis of the situation helped resolve the ongoing conflict amicably. Audacious. Bold, daring, or willing to take risks. The audacious move to legalize certain drugs shocked conservative communities. Tackling climate change requires audacious action and international cooperation. Her audacious attitude challenged traditional gender roles in the corporate sector. Nocturnal. Active or occurring during the night. Nocturnal animals have adapted to thrive in darkness, exhibiting unique behaviors. Nocturnal work schedules can disrupt sleep and affect mental health significantly. Nocturnal migration patterns are common among several bird species during winter. Resonate. To evoke emotions or produce strong feelings. The political speech failed to resonate with the broader public, despite its efforts. Music has the power to resonate emotionally, evoking strong feelings in its listeners. The findings from this study resonate with previous research conducted on the topic. Inhabit. To live or reside in a place. Polar bears inhabit the Arctic, adapting to harsh climates and limited food sources. Wildlife corridors help connect habitats that animals inhabit for migration purposes. Rural areas often inhabit communities with strong cultural and traditional practices. Outcome. The result or consequence of an event. The outcome of the experiment was unexpected and required further investigation. The outcome of policy reform remains uncertain without public support and funding. The outcome of the negotiations depended largely on the the willingness to compromise. Parliament. A legislative body making national laws. Parliament represents the voice of citizens in democratic decision-making processes. The Parliament debated several critical issues affecting the nation during the session. Members of Parliament represent diverse constituencies and address local concerns. Transmit. To send or pass along something. The Internet can instantly transmit information across vast geographical distances. Language serves to transmit thoughts, emotions, and traditions across generations. Technological tools rapidly transmit information across vast geographical distances. Bubble. A round pocket of air or liquid. The housing market bubble eventually burst, causing a nationwide financial crisis. The economic bubble burst, leading to widespread financial instability and hardship. Economic bubbles often result from overspeculation and lack of financial regulation. Evident. Clearly seen or understood. The benefits of renewable energy are increasingly evident in global energy policies. The results of the study were evident in the significant improvement of participants. The impact of the policy change was evident within a few months of implementation. Require. To need or demand something necessary. Universities require students to submit essays as part of their application process. Most graduate programs require applicants to provide letters of recommendation. Academic success may require consistent effort, discipline, and time management. Transparent. Open and easy to understand or see through. The organization aims to be transparent about its financial practices and decisions. Stakeholders appreciate transparent reporting on project outcomes and challenges. Transparent evaluation criteria enhance fairness in university admission procedures. Biography. A detailed account of someone's life events. Reading a biography helps understand the challenges faced by historical figures. His biography includes important milestones and achievements throughout his life. Many students find biographies helpful for learning about influential world leaders. Proximate. Closely related or near in time. The proximate cause of the crisis was a sudden economic downturn globally. The proximate explanation for health decline was poor diet and lack of exercise. The proximate location of the factory affects its operational efficiency significantly. Copyright. Legal rights to original creative works. Violating copyright can lead to serious legal consequences and financial penalties. Copyright infringement is a major issue in the digital age with easy content sharing. Digital content creators rely heavily on copyright protection to safeguard their work. Entrepreneur. A person who starts a business venture. Access to funding is crucial for entrepreneurs to turn ideas into viable businesses. Entrepreneurial ventures often stimulate economic growth and job creation locally. Young entrepreneurs are reshaping traditional industries through digital platforms. Inherent. Naturally existing in something or someone. The ability to adapt to change is an inherent characteristic of successful businesses. Creativity is an inherent trait found in many successful individuals across industries. Freedom of speech carries inherent responsibilities to avoid causing harm or offense. Legislate. To create or enact laws officially. It is important to legislate environmental standards to reduce pollution effectively. Some countries legislate stricter penalties to combat corruption and financial crimes. Governments must legislate wisely to balance economic growth with social welfare. Iconic. Widely recognized and highly symbolic. Iconic leaders often inspire widespread admiration and long-term societal impact. Iconic brands often leverage their heritage to maintain customer loyalty and trust. Many filmmakers aspire to create iconic scenes that resonate with audiences forever. Affiliate. To associate with a group or organization. The athlete became an affiliate of the brand, endorsing their products worldwide. The company decided to affiliate with a larger organization to expand its operations. Many businesses use affiliate marketing to increase sales and reach new customers. Vigorous. strong, energetic, or full of life. Vigorous enforcement of laws helps reduce corruption and promote transparency. Vigorous research efforts are underway to develop sustainable energy alternatives. Students should engage in vigorous physical activity to maintain good mental health. Undermine. To weaken or damage something gradually. Frequent interruptions may undermine a student's ability to concentrate effectively. Misinformation can undermine public trust in science and governmental institutions. Workplace discrimination may undermine employee morale and reduce productivity. Autonomy. Independence or self-governing authority. Autonomy in decision-making is crucial for effective leadership and management. Financial autonomy helps families better manage emergencies and long-term goals. Granting autonomy supports efficient decision-making at the local government level. Eradicate. To completely eliminate or destroy something. Efforts to eradicate deforestation are critical for the survival of endangered species. International efforts aim to eradicate extreme poverty within the next few decades. Scientists are working to eradicate malaria through advanced vaccination programs. Persuasive. Able to convince others effectively. A persuasive argument must be backed by strong evidence and logical reasoning. Persuasive writing is essential in both academic and professional communication. Persuasive communication is essential in fields like marketing and public relations. Segment. A distinct part of something whole. Advertisers target specific market segments to increase product sales effectively. The final segment of the interview revealed surprising facts about the candidate. A well-defined segment allows companies to tailor products to specific consumers. Dwindle. Gradually decrease in size, strength, or number. Forest resources continue to dwindle due to illegal logging and urban expansion. As funding dwindled, the research project faced significant operational challenges. Traditional crafts are dwindling as younger generations seek modern employment. Sophisticated. Highly developed, complex, or refined in nature. Sophisticated medical equipment allows doctors to detect diseases in early stages. Sophisticated algorithms are used to analyze big data for accurate decision-making. Modern societies rely heavily on sophisticated systems for healthcare and security. Voluntary. Done by choice, without force or obligation. Many students engage in voluntary work to strengthen their college applications. Blood donations are strictly voluntary in most countries to ensure ethical practices. Many charitable organizations rely entirely on voluntary contributions and support. Franchise. Approval to operate a business under branding. The fast food franchise expanded rapidly across Southeast Asia within 5 years. The fast food industry is dominated by major global franchise chains worldwide. Owning a franchise provides an opportunity to operate a proven business model. Abstract. Existing in thought, not physical or concrete. Philosophers often grapple with abstract notions like justice, truth, and existence. Abstract thinking is essential for solving complex academic and scientific problems. Abstract thought enables innovation and creative problem-solving across industries. Discretionary. Left to individual choice or personal judgment. Governments reduce discretionary budgets before cutting essential public services. Discretionary income allows consumers to spend beyond their basic living expenses. Discretionary purchases, like luxury goods, often signal consumer confidence levels. Grim. Depressingly serious, gloomy, or without hope. The grim statistics on poverty highlight the need for comprehensive social reform. Unemployment statistics painted a grim picture of the national economic situation. Survivors shared grim accounts of the natural disasters' aftermath and devastation. Contentious. Causing arguments or heated disagreements. Contentious policies often lead to protests and civil unrest in democratic societies. Legal disputes over intellectual property rights are often complex and contentious. Public opinion on the contentious issue of surveillance varies greatly across nations. Displace. Forcefully remove or move from original position. Climate change threatens to displace coastal populations due to rising sea levels. New technological advancements could displace traditional jobs in many industries. The government's infrastructure project may displace local businesses and residents. Deterrent. Something that discourages actions or conducts. Surveillance cameras in public places function as a deterrent to potential criminals. Effective deterrents can reduce cybercrime and protect sensitive digital infrastructure. Cornerstone. Essential foundation or key element. Research is the cornerstone of advancements in healthcare and medical sciences. Education is often regarded as the cornerstone of national development strategies. Innovation is the cornerstone of technological advancements and industrial progress. Benevolent. Showing kindness, generosity, and goodwill. Benevolent individuals often serve as catalysts for meaningful social transformation. His benevolent actions significantly improved the lives of countless homeless people. Many benevolent organizations provide shelter and food to disaster-affected regions. Approach. A method or way of dealing with something. A holistic approach is essential for solving complex global health challenges today. Scientists approach problems systematically to find effective and reliable solutions. An evidence-based approach ensures better outcomes in public health campaigns. Commodity. A raw material or valuable economic product. Clean water is an essential commodity that many communities still lack access to. Coffee is a widely consumed commodity with cultural and economic significance. Agricultural commodities like rice and wheat are essential for global food security. Domesticate. Tame animals or cultivate plants for use. Efforts to domesticate wild species require careful breeding and genetic selection. Early humans learned to domesticate animals for food, labor, and companionship. Humans began to domesticate crops thousands of years ago for consistent harvests. Ailment. A minor illness or medical condition. The report highlights how lifestyle factors contribute to common health ailments. Early diagnosis can help prevent minor ailments from becoming severe conditions. Many people suffer from mental ailments that often go undiagnosed and untreated. Interval. A pause or gap between events. Breaking tasks into small intervals increases productivity and reduces stress levels. Historical conflicts often occurred at unpredictable intervals throughout centuries. There was a short interval of silence before the speaker continued his presentation. Intervene. Step in to change an outcome. Doctors often intervene in cases where immediate medical attention is necessary. International organizations often intervene to resolve conflicts in war-torn regions. Governments should intervene promptly to protect citizens during natural disasters. Preliminary. Happening before something more important. After preliminary tests, the committee decided to proceed with the full experiment. Preliminary findings suggest the new policy might improve public health outcomes. They conducted a preliminary survey to understand consumer preferences in detail. Utilize. Make use of something effectively. Companies utilize data analytics to improve customer experience and sales strategies. The government should utilize renewable energy sources to reduce carbon emissions. Companies utilize data analytics to improve customer satisfaction and product quality. Superficial. Appearing true but lacking depth. The documentary critiques the superficial portrayal of culture in mainstream media. A superficial understanding of topics can hinder meaningful discussions and progress. Superficial beauty does not guarantee happiness or meaningful personal relationships. Accomplish. Successfully complete a goal or task. With determination and focus, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Hard work and perseverance are essential to accomplish long-term academic goals. The program aims to help students accomplish their academic goals and aspirations. Arbitrary. Based on personal choice, not reason. The selection process seemed arbitrary and lacked transparency and consistency. Many critics argue that censorship policies are arbitrary and politically motivated. The teachers' arbitrary grading system frustrated students who expected fairness. Cooperate. Work together towards a common goal. International organizations play a vital role in helping nations cooperate peacefully. Companies that cooperate on innovation often lead their industries in development. Countries must cooperate to tackle climate change and ensure global sustainability. Norm. The standard or usual way of doing things. Social norms influence individual behavior and expectations within various cultures. Understanding cultural norms is essential for effective cross-cultural communication. Following societal norms provides individuals with a sense of security and belonging. Priority. Something considered more important than others. Economic stability takes priority over short-term political gains in policy decisions. Individuals often prioritize personal health and well-being over material possessions. Public safety should always be the government's highest policy and funding priority. Feature. A distinct characteristic or aspect of something. Group projects feature prominently in modern collaborative education systems. E-books now feature interactive content to enhance student learning experiences. Urban planning should feature public spaces that encourage community interaction. Heinous. Shockingly wicked, evil, or cruel. The terrorist committed a heinous attack against innocent civilians in broad daylight. Some dictators committed heinous atrocities during times of war and political unrest. Heinous behavior by officials damages public trust and weakens institutional integrity. Scheme. A systematic plan or arrangement. The company devised a scheme to boost employee engagement and satisfaction. A pension scheme was introduced to ensure financial security for retired workers. A well-structured scheme can improve productivity and efficiency in organizations. Vertical. Upright, going from top to bottom. Vertical cliffs along the coastline attract adventurous climbers and geologists alike. Vertical farming offers a sustainable solution for urban food production challenges. Engineers assessed the vertical stability of the newly constructed suspension bridge. Acoustic. Related to sound or hearing. Acoustic insulation reduces noise pollution in densely populated residential areas. Engineers tested the room's acoustic properties before installing the sound system. Musicians prefer acoustic instruments for their authentic and natural sound quality. Dogma. Strongly held belief or principle. Educational reform must move beyond rigid dogma to encourage critical thinking. Societal advancement depends on breaking free from limiting ideological dogma. Adhering to dogma without question can limit personal growth and understanding. Incline. Slant or have a tendency toward something. Her inclination to help others motivates her to volunteer regularly at local charities. Urban populations incline to use public transport when infrastructure is convenient. Individuals with creative minds incline toward artistic or design-based professions. Prohibit. Forbid or prevent something by law or rule. Most universities prohibit plagiarism to maintain academic integrity and originality. Many countries prohibit smoking in public areas to protect non-smokers from harm. Some religions prohibit consumption of specific foods for ethical or spiritual reasons. Fluctuate. Change frequently between different levels or amounts. Temperatures can fluctuate drastically during the transition from winter to spring. Oil prices frequently fluctuate based on global demand and geopolitical tensions. Employment rates can fluctuate during economic recessions and recovery periods. Investigate. Examine thoroughly to uncover facts or truth. It is essential to investigate new technologies before implementing them in schools. Authorities should investigate environmental damage caused by industrial activities. Students are encouraged to investigate historical events from multiple perspectives. Pollinate. Transfer pollen to enable plant reproduction. Many plants rely on insects to pollinate their flowers for successful reproduction. Without pollination, many plants would struggle to reproduce and produce fruits. Urban gardening initiatives can support species that naturally pollinate native plants. Impede. slow down or obstruct movement or progress. Factors such as lack of resources can impede educational advancement for students. Fear of failure can impede personal growth and prevent individuals from taking risks. Language barriers often impede effective communication in multicultural workplaces. Pretend. Act falsely to deceive or entertain others. Actors pretend to be characters, showing emotions convincingly on stage or screen. Pretending to agree with others can cause misunderstandings and future conflicts. Parents sometimes pretend everything is fine to protect their children from worries. Shrink. Become smaller in size or importance. Urban sprawl can shrink agricultural land, affecting food production and security. New technologies help shrink distances by enabling instant global communication. Over time, glaciers continue to shrink due to rising global temperatures significantly. Survey. Examine or collect information systematically. Conducting a survey helps researchers gather valuable data on consumer behavior. The organization used a survey to evaluate employee satisfaction and morale levels. Researchers use surveys to gather data on health trends across different populations. Aspiration. A desire to achieve something important. Aspiration without action may lead to unfulfilled dreams and missed opportunities. Many young people have the aspiration to contribute positively to society's future. Her aspiration to become a doctor motivated years of dedicated study and practice. Correlate. Have a connection or link between things. Researchers correlate air pollution exposure with increased respiratory disease risk. Economic growth tends to correlate positively with improvements in education levels. The study aims to correlate physical activity with mental health outcomes significantly. Embody. Represent or express an idea in physical form. The leader's actions embody the values of integrity and commitment to excellence. The character in the film embodies resilience in the face of overwhelming challenges. Good leadership should embody honesty, empathy, and strong communication skills. Suspend. Temporarily stop something from continuing. Participants must suspend their disbelief to fully enjoy the performance experience. The government decided to suspend public transportation during the severe storm. Schools may suspend students temporarily for violating important disciplinary rules. Exhilarate. Make someone feel very excited or happy. Winning the championship game exhilarated the team after months of hard training. Engaging in outdoor activities can exhilarate the mind and improve overall well-being. Traveling to new countries exhilarates explorers with diverse cultures and experiences. Faction. A small, dissenting group within a larger group. Rival factions in the company competed fiercely for control of leadership positions. Political factions often disagree on key issues, causing instability within governments. Factions within the party debated intensely over proposed economic reform policies. Isolate. Separate something from others completely. To achieve accurate results, researchers must isolate variables in their experiments. Scientists isolate variables carefully to determine their specific effects in experiments. Governments may isolate political dissidents to control opposition and maintain order. Prudence. Wise decision-making with good judgment. Parents teach prudence to children to make wise choices in challenging situations. Financial prudence is essential for individuals to avoid debt and economic instability. Exercise prudence when investing in volatile or highly speculative financial markets. Fragment. A small, broken part of something larger. The broken glass scattered into fragments after the window was forcefully shattered. Memories may fragment over time, making it difficult to recall complete past events. Digital files can fragment, slowing down computer performance and data access speed. Judicial. Related to courts, law, and legal decisions. Judicial reforms are necessary to ensure fair treatment and access to justice for all. Judicial activism can lead to significant changes in interpreting constitutional rights. Judicial reforms often aim to increase efficiency and reduce corruption within courts. Fraud. Deception intended for financial or personal gain. Financial fraud can have devastating effects on individuals and businesses similarly. The government imposed stricter penalties to combat rising corporate fraud cases. Online fraud has significantly increased due to inadequate cybersecurity measures. Inferior. Lower in quality, rank, or importance. This brand is cheaper but significantly inferior in quality and performance overall. Inferior working conditions often lead to low morale and high employee turnover. Inferior healthcare services affect the overall well-being of low-income communities. Orbit. The curved path around a planet or star. The telescope was launched into orbit for astronomical research and observation. Earth's orbit around the Sun influences seasonal and climatic patterns significantly. Technological advancements have improved our understanding of orbital mechanics. Refute. Prove something to be false or incorrect. The lawyer worked diligently to refute allegations against his client during the trial. The article aimed to refute common myths related to nutrition and healthy eating. Scholars continuously refute unsupported hypotheses in the academic community. Orientate. Familiarize with surroundings or situations. New employees must orientate themselves to company culture and expectations. The program helps students orientate quickly to university life and responsibilities. Orientation programs aim to help immigrants orientate to local customs effectively. Amphibian. A cold-blooded animal living on land and water. Frogs and salamanders are common examples of amphibians in wetland habitats. Amphibians are often used in research to study environmental and genetic changes. Amphibians have permeable skin, making them highly susceptible to water pollution. Comprehend. Understand something fully and clearly. Teachers use visual aids to help students comprehend complex biological processes. It's important to fully comprehend legal agreements before signing any documents. Without background knowledge, readers may fail to comprehend technical material. Species. a group of living organisms with shared features. Protecting endangered species is a global priority for environmental conservation. The study of species diversity enhances our understanding of evolutionary processes. Conservation programs aim to preserve species diversity through protected reserves. Anatomy. The structure of a living organism's body. A strong grasp of human anatomy is essential for aspiring medical professionals. Anatomy classes require precision and deep observation of physical body structures. The anatomy of mammals shares many similarities due to evolutionary development. Compulsory. Required by law, rule, or obligation. Compulsory testing for diseases can prevent outbreaks in vulnerable communities. Some argue compulsory voting increases civic participation and political awareness. Some subjects like mathematics and science are compulsory in most school curricula. Hibernation. A deep sleep-like state during cold months. During hibernation, an animal's heart rate and metabolism significantly slow down. Bears are among the most well-known mammals that undergo hibernation annually. Understanding hibernation may help astronauts endure long-duration space missions. Astronomy. The study of stars, planets, and space. Astronomy helps us understand celestial bodies and the structure of the universe. He developed a passion for astronomy after observing planets through a telescope. Modern astronomy relies heavily on satellite technology and computer simulations. Adjacent. Next to or adjoining something else. Adjacent regions were affected equally by the severe drought and food shortages. Adjacent classrooms were disturbed by the loud construction noises from outside. The adjacent roads were closed due to ongoing construction and maintenance work. Comprise. Consist of or be made up of. The final exam will comprise written, oral, and practical assessment components. The research findings comprise data from over 50 countries and multiple studies. The population comprises various ethnic groups with distinct cultural backgrounds. Episode. A distinct event or part of a series. The recent episode of drought caused widespread crop failure and food shortages. This medical episode revealed underlying health conditions previously undetected. One tragic episode prompted reforms in school safety protocols across the country. Confer. Discuss or grant a benefit, title, or honor. The university will confer honorary degrees on 3 distinguished researchers. Governments often confer with experts before enacting complex policy changes. Universities confer degrees to recognize academic achievements of their students. Cycle. A repeated sequence of events or actions. Seasonal changes influence the agricultural cycle in many developing rural regions. Water goes through a natural cycle of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. The cycle of life includes birth, growth, reproduction, and eventual decline or death. Adolescent. A person transitioning from childhood to adulthood. Programs focused on adolescents can promote healthy lifestyle choices and habits. Adolescent behavior is heavily influenced by peer pressure and social media trends. Many adolescent issues stem from a lack of parental guidance and emotional support. Antibiotic. A medicine that kills harmful bacteria. Antibiotic treatment must be carefully prescribed to avoid unnecessary side effects. Understanding antibiotics helps patients follow their prescriptions more responsibly. Public awareness campaigns promote the responsible use of antibiotics in healthcare. Convincing. Persuasive and able to influence belief. Her convincing speech swayed many undecided voters during the local election. Her arguments were so convincing that the panel approved her research proposal. A convincing explanation must be backed by logical and relevant supporting details. Entitlement. A right or privilege granted by law. Many believe that social media has fostered a sense of entitlement among youth. Entitlement to healthcare should be considered a basic human right by all nations. Some critics argue that entitlement programs increase dependence on state support. Ritual. A formal ceremony or repetitive practice. Breaking a ritual can cause emotional distress in people with obsessive tendencies. Cultural rituals play an essential role in preserving traditions and community bonds. Ritual practices vary widely across cultures and often carry deep symbolic meanings. Attribute. A quality or characteristic of something. Many attribute his academic success to disciplined study habits and mentorship. Creativity is a valuable attribute in both academic and professional environments. Many experts attribute climate change to human activities and industrial pollution. Degenerate. Declining in quality, morality, or function. Prolonged economic crises can cause social institutions to degenerate over time. Neglected neighborhoods often degenerate into crime-ridden and unsafe areas. Relationships can degenerate when communication breaks down and trust erodes. Ethics. Moral principles governing a person's behavior. Understanding ethics is essential for navigating complex societal issues effectively. Ethics in journalism ensures responsible and unbiased reporting of sensitive events. Corporate ethics determine how companies treat employees and consumers alike. Strenuous. Requiring great effort, energy, or strength. The strenuous hike tested our endurance and determination throughout the journey. Hiking the mountain was a strenuous challenge, testing our endurance and strength. Successful athletes undergo strenuous training routines to enhance their performance. Succumbed. Gave into pressure, force, or illness. Several species have succumbed to habitat destruction caused by human activities. Many individuals succumb to the allure of quick riches, ignoring the risks involved. The village succumbed to the drought, leading to severe water shortages and famine. Breadwinner. The primary financial provider in family. Societies should value the contribution of every breadwinner regardless of gender. Losing the breadwinner can have devastating effects on a family's financial stability. Traditional roles assign breadwinner status primarily to male household members. Specify. To state something clearly and precisely. The contract must specify the duties and responsibilities of each party involved. The teacher asked students to specify their topics for the research paper by Friday. The instructions specify the exact amount of materials required for the experiment. Theory. A well-supported explanation of phenomena. Many researchers are developing new theories to explain complex phenomena. Learning theory suggests that motivation plays a key role in student achievement. Scientific theories must be tested and validated through rigorous experimentation. Amalgamate. To merge or combine into one entity. The committee will amalgamate all suggestions before presenting a final proposal. When businesses amalgamate, they combine assets, staff, and strategies for growth. The school plans to amalgamate several departments to improve resource efficiency. Minute. Extremely small or very detailed. The minute details of the experiment were recorded carefully to ensure accuracy. Such minute differences often distinguish professional work from amateur efforts. Understanding the minute details of the case can provide a more accurate judgment. Frustrate. To cause annoyance or disappointment. Lack of funding can frustrate researchers eager to pursue promising scientific studies. Traffic congestion frustrates commuters and increases stress during rush hours daily. Students feel frustrated when their efforts do not lead to expected academic success. Reign. The rule or authority of a monarch. The reign of the monarch lasted for over 50 years, shaping the nation's history. A long reign of peace helped foster economic growth and international cooperation. The sudden end of the emperor's reign caused chaos throughout the entire empire. Spectrum. A range of related things or ideas. Opinions on climate change exist across a wide spectrum of beliefs and attitudes. Artists often explore a spectrum of colors to convey different emotions in their work. The visible light spectrum includes all colors that human eyes can perceive naturally. Manipulate. To control something skillfully or unfairly. Media outlets can manipulate public opinion by controlling the narrative and tone. Advanced technology can manipulate data to create misleading or biased outcomes. It is unethical to manipulate scientific results to support a specific hypothesis falsely. Cross-examination. Questioning a witness in court critically. Cross-examination helps to ensure the accuracy and reliability of evidence in court. The lawyer's cross-examination revealed inconsistencies in the witness's testimony. The judge advised the jury to consider the impact of cross-examination on evidence. Epidemic. A widespread occurrence of infectious disease. The economic impact of an epidemic can be devastating for affected communities. The sudden epidemic forced schools and businesses to close temporarily for safety. Public education campaigns help reduce infection rates during an epidemic outbreak. Confront. To face a challenge or opposition directly. Many students find it difficult to confront their fears of public speaking confidently. It is essential to confront challenges head-on to achieve personal growth and success. Scientists confront ethical dilemmas when testing on animals for research purposes. Degrade. To lower in quality or value. Fast fashion trends degrade both the environment and labor standards worldwide. Noise pollution may degrade people's mental well-being in densely populated cities. Excessive industrial waste continues to degrade the quality of nearby water sources. Bestow. To give as an honor or gift. Democracy bestows citizens with the right to participate in national governance. Education bestows individuals with the tools needed for informed decision-making. The Foundation seeks to bestow grants to innovative research projects in education. Reluctant. Hesitant or unwilling to do something. Older generations are often reluctant to adopt rapidly evolving digital technologies. Parents may be reluctant to vaccinate children without reliable medical information. Employers are reluctant to change traditional methods, despite proven inefficiency.